You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On tonight's show, part 2 of Matt Woods, Feed the Dog, and Pert Near Sandstone. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching the White Wall Sessions. We are now accepting submissions for Season 8. To apply, visit whitewallsessions.com/appear. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, Ben's Brewing Company, Screenflare, J. Rick Music, The Pink Moon Room, Minuteman Press, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Matt Woods, an Iowa native and blues aficionado, blew the audience away with exceptional guitar playing and unforgettable songs. Trekking from Boone, Iowa, Matt swung by the studio and delivered a stellar set. As a solo act, Matt can be found touring throughout the region, showcasing his talents to audiences of all ages.
What a piece of crap.
We got together, babe, and I thought it was a dream. Prettiest little girl that I'd ever seen, but she took the track and the mill, left me with sawdust and gasoline. Well, I went crazy, man, you know what I mean. Fine-looking figure, she knew how to keep it clean, but she took the track and the mill, left me with sawdust and gasoline. Perfect. start a fire and I'll watch it burn. She took all I had, but now it's my turn. Oh, the tractor and the mill left me with sawdust and gasoline. Thank you.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with Matt Woods from Boone, Iowa. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, the National guitar. When did you come across one of those? Did you start on like an acoustic or an electric? Have you ever played?
No,
electric?
I started on just kind of a standard flat top acoustic with awful action and played terrible and just pretty standard, kind of what you're supposed to start out on. And slowly graduated up to a National. It took me a long time to save for it, and I bought that in about 2010. So
Yeah. So, is this your first one, or have you?
that was my first National. I've since had others, but yeah.
It's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah, thank you.
And you were telling me that in 2009 they sort of went back to tradition and steel is thicker.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I'm sure somebody can correct me, but they went back to using the original gauge steel that they used on the first Nationals from the late 20s, and so you're able to get a sound that's very close to what the original Nationals were.
And for people listening on the podcast, yes, you can call it a dobro, but that's more like the
Dobro's a brand name,
style.
yeah. But yeah, it's commonly known as a dobro, so a steel guitar
with the resonator.
with a resonator cone.
Yeah. And so these songs you're writing, where do they come from? Where do they ever start like sort of a folk song and end up more bluesy or different directions, or are they?
Yeah, I don't really think about it too much. I don't really consider myself to be a songwriter. I always just wanted to be a guitar player, and everything else has kind of just become a necessary evil in my mind. I mean, I don't especially like singing. I don't really like to write songs. I just want to play guitar, man. But I've found myself in a situation, obviously, that I need to do those things. So the way I write, and I've got friends like Jordan Messerol that probably have stacks and stacks of notebooks full of songs and whatever, but I'm pragmatic, like to a fault. So I write songs when I need to put out a new album, and I sit down and I write 10 or 12 songs, and that goes on the album. And then I don't do anything for three years. And then I sit down and write 10 more songs or whatever for the album. So it's just not something I really put my mind to unless I need it. And then as far as how they turn out, like I said, I don't put too much thought into it. I either come up with music first or some lyrics, and then find some music for it, or vice versa. And then however they come out is just what it is.
And do you ever, with the style of playing and the ability of playing you have, it sounds kind of weird, but do you ever find the guitar playing competing with the vocals and or singing, or do they complement each other more? I mean, we know they complement each other, but do you ever say, well, do I need to put more guitar in here or more vocals?
Well, I mean, like I said, as long as my guitar sounds good, I don't care. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I would hope that things fit together kind of well. I mean, I'm my own worst critic for sure, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, but I hope they fit together okay. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm just a guitar player that sings songs occasionally. So
Sure. I was thinking you did at least one, or you did one instrumental tonight. Do you have more instrumentals?
Yeah, I have more. That's my favorite kind of song.
And that's kind of what I was getting at. Do you? Is the instrumental? Do you say, well, no, the guitar is all it needs on this, or do you feel that it needs words, or is it just they all take on individual personality?
Yeah, sometimes I have parts, guitar parts that don't have lyrics, and I think, well, that kind of works on its own, and if I come up with a couple different parts and I've got an instrumental, I got a whole song. It's definitely a lot easier for me to write guitar parts, then I mean I've got stacks and stacks of those in my brain, right? But lyrics are the hard part for me. So some stuff, if I can't really come up with anything lyrically, if it kind of has all the necessary parts to be an instrumental song, I'll just, do an instrumental song.
Doesn't matter, doors are locked, you're stuck here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody watching. Hello. Here's another song I know. This is called Changing My Mind About You. Seem to care. You leave me alone to take care of things around here. Well, I'm wringing my hands and walking the floor, changing my mind about you. You spend my money like it comes in twos. Sometimes I think I was born to lose. Well, I'm wringing my hands, walking the floor, changing my mind about you. I changed my mind, it's my right to do. I didn't sign no papers, I didn't marry you. Well, I'm wringing my hands, walking the floor, changing my mind about you. It's time to decide where we're gonna go. There ain't much choice, babe, I think we both know. I'm wringing my hands and walking the floor, changing my mind about you. I changed my mind, it's my right to do. I didn't sign no papers, I didn't marry Thank you.
Coming up after the break, Feed the Dog.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music. Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Appleton, Wisconsin's Feed the Dog electrified the crowd with their Season 7 performance.
Thank you, acoustic guitar.
Incorporating flowing rhythms, bluegrass, and rock elements, the band rocked out an astonishing session. With masterfully crafted dynamics and striking jams, this is a must-see act. The band is Tyler Shea, vocals and guitar, Eric Uvinen, drums, vocals, and didgeridoo, Tim McElroy, fiddles and vocals, and David Blessant, bass.
Choices. I wanna get away from my own voice. Don't wanna be afraid of outcomes and consequences. I am so weak to all of your advances. Have you been lying about the way that you feel? You know that I'm trying to mend the wound and heal. In case you're wondering, I have no place to go. In case you're wondering, I am so torn. We all have those little things, things we like to change. We all have those little things. We all have those little things, things we like to change. We all have those little things. You wanna know where I'm going? You already know where I've been. So I'll take the hour, give you 3/4 to. Mama, you know that it's all for you. There is a silence, a healing and lost. There is a path, follow when I'm blind. Should I stumble, lose the right words to say? Will you hold on, mama, hold on. We all have those little things, things we like to change. We change. We all have those little things. We all have those little things, things we like to change. We all have those little things. We all have those little things, things we like to change. We all have those little things.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with Feed the Dog. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, so where do the songs come from? Does everybody write, or is there a primary writer?
It's depends on what stage we're at in the band. Most of the time, Tyler's been writing most of all the songs and came with a formula that we kind of just add our own stuff to and tweak here and there. But the longer we're together, the more we're kind of co-writing, or Dave or myself or Tyler will just get together and have different parts and really mend it together. So I think as the band evolves more and more, you're going to see more cohesive songwriting from everybody.
Sure. So, Tyler, do you come in with a structured song or just kind of an idea that you want to just hand over and let them take it, or could it be finished by itself?
I think it can happen both ways. I mean, a lot of times I'll have something finished, and then it'll be easier to add on a finished song, you know.
Yeah.
Or if it's not finished, and they, you know, I listen to those guys. They tell me if they think it's finished or not, you know.
Because it would seem to me that there's so many different directions it's going, the songs. By the time they're done, is it music first with this band, or is there an idea for a song and the lyrics to support that, and then the music to make a feel, or is it just the music first?
Kind of depends. Every song's different.
I think Tyler, he always has these like songs, like we come to a practice and he's like, hey, I got a new song. And he's got the vocals and the lyrics figured out. And then he has some sort of a vision of the song. And then we kind of put in our 2 cents and we all talk about it and like what we like, what we don't like. And it just kind of forms after a couple practices. And we try to record each practice so we can listen back that week when we're not together and, jot down notes. And
it's interesting, though.
Put together.
See how a song evolves.
Darkness at the edge of town. There'll be bloodshed in the street before the sun goes down. Sheriff Brown and his posse are coming up quick. I'm afraid to die pretty more. I think I might be sick. I think I might be. So the sheriff said, meet me at the bell tower at high noon. If I skip out on that date, I'll be known as a cowardly fool. So I strapped on my pistol and my weathered leather vest. There were 62 brave riders coming in from the west. They're coming in from the west. Well, the dust began to dance. He made a move for his gun. Said, Mr. Murphy, if you don't want to die, better turn and run. So he pulled back his hammer, and the sky began to hail. There were 62 brave riders peeling back his hair. They're peeling back his hair. We were living in the wrong. 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 Well, there's freedom in the hills. It's where the trouble lies. With hooves of iron, the horse of power he rides. Over all the bodies, blood and the cries. And as I hop on my steed, I wipe the blood from my eyes. Oh, well, the wind picked up, and I seen her standing there in a white cotton dress and a hand in the air. She says, I love you, Daddy, but of your friends, I think you should beware. And just as our fingers touched, an arrow flung from the spear. An arrow flung. I felt the pain and the pressure of 62 sins. Well, the chief of the West wasn't any kind of friend. So my body went limp, my body broke in the dust. And as I bled out in the streets, took my love for the lust. He took my love for the lust. He took my love for the lust. He took my love for the lust. Take my love for the lust.
Coming up after the break, Pert Near Sandstone.
Thank you.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music. Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Pert Near Sandstone is an American bluegrass ensemble known throughout the upper Midwest since the early 2000s. Their rich-rooted sound is propelled with high-energy performances and solos. The band braved a snowstorm and performed to a dedicated and appreciative crowd. The band is Nate Sipe, fiddle, mandolin, and vocals, Kevin Kniebel, clawhammer, banjo, and vocals, Jay Lenz, acoustic guitar and vocals, Justin Brune, upright bass and vocals, and Matt Cartier, clogs and fiddle.
She was looking so fine in that corner there, sparkle in her eyes. We both pretended not to stare. That old-time fiddle saw her, couldn't help but dance along. And then she grabbed my hand and we circled up the square. And the music went on through the night while I held her, dancing so tight. Sing and dance with me, honey, come on. Polish up that floor and the music's over. Go waltzing out the door. Temperature was rising, felt like we were on an island, dancing round and round and round across the floor. Up that oak and down the pine, be your partner, you'll be mine. I'll take this dance a million times and beg for more. And the music went on through the night while I held her, dancing so tight. Sing and dance with me, honey, go on. Polish up that floor and the music's over. We'll go waltzing out the door. Do-si-do, high-low, swing your partner and around you go. Put that birdie in a basket, dance like she might blow a gasket, and then you grab your partner and take her on back home. And the music went on through the night while I held her, dancing so tight. Sing and dance with me, honey, come on. Polish up that floor when the music's over. We'll go waltzing out the door. When the music's over, we'll go waltzing out the door. When the music's over, we'll go waltzing.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with Pert Near Sandstone from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for having us.
How did the dynamics of the traveling go with the band?
It's really good. I mean, Jay, myself, and Nate, we all went to high school together, so we've known each other for 25 plus years, and family kind of sticks together, and even if you kind of are like, oh, today, I really don't like that shirt you're wearing, but I still love you, or other worse things, you can kind of just work through.
I don't remember ever talking about a shirt.
No, I'm trying to keep it positive here, but when you're in a spaceship. For NASA, they give you personality inventories, and they do a whole bunch of planning to figure out who can fit the best with each other to be in a little capsule like that for 9 months. But in a band van, it's like, you just throw a band together and suddenly you're in a very similar situation. And so it's interesting to be on the road with the band, but we all really do love each other and love what we do. And, personal dynamics are something that I think we kind of enjoy about.
Well, I think we all have kind of roles within the van too.
Oh,
other than instrumentation.
This is going to spiral out of control, but I want to see where it goes.
Who typically drives? Who works all day and kind of keeps to himself, but interjects occasionally.
Who plays DJ?
Who plays DJ?
Yeah. Who occupies the backseat sleeping all day? There's definite roles.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised at how little we fight. Actually,
yeah. It should be a lot more.
We
should fight more.
We should hate each other a lot more than we do.
Let's work on it.
Yeah.
Fight, like I say, fights are good for ratings. So if you want to go ahead.
It's very sibling. I think we're like brothers, and it just you're stuck in such a space with each other that bond just grows whether you want to or not.
Sure.
And the beauty is you can talk trash and voice your opinion immediately, and it's fine. Yep. There's not a lot of grudge.
Yeah, after spending this much time with the same people for so many years, you have already talked about literally everything there is to talk about. So we just make up weird things. I don't know. Just,
hanging out in the van.
Yeah, songs like that.
Yeah. Hanging out in the van. It gets weird quick.
A lot of
Sure.
inside jokes.
But, you're also a team. When you go up there, it's you guys, working with each other. So that's a different dynamic too.
Yeah, I think different from a lot of bands, at least different from a lot of bands that I see. We're not very arranged as a band, and so kind of like.
Well, we're totally unorganized.
Yeah, unorganized is a different way to talk about it, but it's like the song is never the same twice. We're arranging it on the fly, and it's really organic and kind of fun. And
is that intentional? To keep it fresh?
I mean, sometimes it's not, but usually, yeah.
I mean, I think it's just kind of become how this band works.
Yeah. We're definitely used to it.
Yeah, it's just how how we keep things fresh as well. I like to push a song that I would lead to maybe be different each time we play it. Keep it in the familiar pocket, but also, it's got to be fresh and new. And when you're playing the same exact arrangement of the same song every night, that would just seems like purgatory. It seems like self-induced torture to a degree.
Yeah, it kind of brings like the vibe of kind of just some friends hanging out on the porch, which is kind of how this all started for us. So it kind of brings that organic, natural, kind of informal vibe to it.
Feels like a new porch every night.
Yeah. So you got a nice porch here, by the way.
Thank you. What about the songwriting? Does one person come up with a song? Because you have multiple writers here. And then do you bring it to the band, or is there something that comes?
Yeah.
We've done in the past different ways. We sometimes, a lot of times, I'd say it's just we individually bring a song to the band. We kind of work it up and help fix up this or that, so that it's matching everything. But we've done collaborating. Like Kevin and I have written some songs together for sure.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of everywhere, but.
And when you're writing, when the person's writing, do you hear the other guys? Do you hear the song with everybody playing, or do you just working through the?
Sometimes vocally, definitely, I hear vocal parts to melody lines I write, and kind of.
Yeah, I was just saying the other night actually, when I write a song for Pert Near, I think of kind of like knowing what we get, knowing like Jay's style playing guitar, Kevin's style of banjo. I like to write a song that I think these guys can make sound good. And no matter what it is, no matter, the ideas that we bring to the band, if we're all, the five of us playing them, they're going to kind of sound the same just by our limitations as musicians and our preferences of style and just organically how we play together. So it's kind of easy to work with these guys, really. So I'm lucky describe it. Yeah.
Well, typically, does the writer sing it, or does anyone write and say, "Well, I think Nate should sing that one," or Kevin?
Yeah, I've written songs for Kevin to sing. I've written songs for Justin to sing. Yep. I want to write a song for you to sing.
You better.
He doesn't like any of my songs, though. So
I'm right here, Nate. Yeah.
I don't let anybody sing my songs.
I also kind of write for myself, yeah. But Nate has probably been the most prolific writer in the band, and so he really early was like coming with just a bag full of songs and like I want to sing this one, but let's figure out who the best singer is to do these other three.
All right. 2, 3, 4.
I wish I knew the words to say. I wish I knew the hell I paid. Trouble. Turbines on this plane, quell my dull low pain, sing my restless mood with alcohol and food, yeah. Car, find a place to start. We're only growing old. It's hard to sow, I'm told. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hell, I pay. How about those solos, huh? Let's hear it from Matt Cartier over there.
Kevin Knievel right here in this claw hammer. Nate, I really love that solo. That was really good. Jay, I'm sorry you didn't get a solo.
The White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is Dave Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Carl Koiser, Kevin Phipps, and Dave Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us next week, same time, same station.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.